So what are the dermatomes? I have seen that you do not have any problem with a basic thing. So the dermatomes are the area of the skin innervated by some nerve. However, we need also to think why it is important. So why it is important? Because when we know that the pathology is in some concrete spot, yes, let's imagine here, yes, or here, or here, or here. For example, the patient comes to you and says that he does not feel anything in this area of the body, or he does not anything below this area of the body. So now, when you after this course, you get some basic information about the physiology of the human body, and on the basis of this information, you can guess where may be a problem. So, for example, if the patient would not feel anything in this area of the skin, it will mean that the spinal nerve from the L4 part of the spinal cord, or the L4 part of the spinal cord, is damaged. If nothing below this level would be felt, it means that the spinal cord at the level of L3, yes, because L3 is working, so at the level of between L3 and L4 is severed completely, yes, because patient cannot move and cannot feel anything below this level. Yes, if he cannot feel anything below this level, it means that at the level of T12, never mind, is anything, the spinal cord is damaged, yes? Or if, for example, only this area of the skin is damaged, it is not working as it should, so there is no feel, for example, or there is some pathologies like pathological pain and things like that. It means that it affects the nerves that are from the T5. Yes. In most parts of the body, especially around the chest, this is extremely logical. Yes. So generally at the level of T6, for example, okay, a bit lower, but generally you can see the pattern. Yes. In case of the dermatomes on the chest. However, with the dermatomes of the neck, it's far harder. For example, it's a bit harder to remember that, for example, the C7 is innervating part of the hand. Yes, or it's also a bit hard to remember that around the anus or the sphincters are innervated by the sacral nerves. Yes, and although sacral nerves, sacrum is lower in the spinal cord, generally, the foot is innervated by L5, not by the sacral nerve. And so these are some peculiarities. I do not want you to learn all of it. I just want you to have an idea where are each part. Yes, so that the upper limb are mainly innervated by the nerves from the neck, generally, and the lower limb are mainly innervated by the by the lumbar and the sacral spine. Yes. So these are general ideas. And now one clinical example. This is some disease that is connected to the herpes zoster. This disease affects only some single dermatome on one side usually. And you can see by the shape of it, yes, that is extremely characteristic because it affects the dermatome. Because though this virus is living in the nerves, in the roots of nerves. So when it shows up in some dermatome of the nerve that it is affecting. Okay, so what are the transduction pathways of the sensory neurons? So generally, you have a lot of roots, yes, Some of the most important routes are the medial lemniscal pathway, and we have here the grassy nucleus and cuneate nucleus. Yes, this is very important pathway. We also have some additional pathways for pain and temperature. You also need to know about those pathways, that some of those pathways cross to the other side of the spinal cord and some are not. Yes. We'll learn more about pyramidal tracts, so the movement pathways. Here, these are the sensory pathways. But the critical idea is that the sensory receptors are giving the nerves that are traveling into the spinal cord. Then in the spinal cord, they switch to some other neuron. Yes, so we have the first neuron here, then the second neuron somewhere in the spinal cord, and then it gets to the third neuron in the brain. This is a usual thing. Not always it is present, but this is some general idea how the transduction of the sensory signals is happening. Of course, you need to remember that not all of the informations are getting through the spinal nerves. We also have a face. In case of the face, most of the sensory inputs are getting through the trigeminal nerve. Yes, so the fifth cranial nerve. But the rest is quite similar. Yes, so we have the first sensory neuron, then it switches to the next but in the brain, not in the spinal cord. Okay, thank you very much.